Talk Media. It is Reality Check Thursday, and you know what time it is. It's City Council Live. It's time for gavel-to-gavel coverage of the Philadelphia City Council. I'm your anchor for this session, this edition of Philadelphia City Council Live, Charles Ellison. Also your host, executive producer, and creator of Reality Check on WURD. Welcome to the program. Happy Thursday for you all, or as happy as you can make it, particularly those living near the Broad and Olney section of Philadelphia. It's been it's been a difficult just year for Philadelphia and just for everyone in general, but I know a lot of people still stunned and still absorbing what happened yesterday in broad daylight. 8 people shot. We do know of one elderly gentleman who is in critical condition, as far as the last I heard, and definitely hitting a very personal chord with myself. I used to, that was like my central bus station, having to catch the bus to go to school every day from Broad and Olney SEPTA station, from that same transit center, and living literally down the street from that transit center. So found that we did get a statement finally out of the mayor, who suddenly realized that he's got a violence that's spiraling out of control, and it used the word emergency in that statement. So we'll definitely keep folks updated on any news we hear this morning during this Thursday edition of Reality Check, and also during this edition of City Council Live. Wondering what members of City Council will be saying this midday, this morning, this afternoon, as they're deliberating over bills in this session of City Council. We're going to open up the phone lines before we're waiting on the Philadelphia City Council. They should be meeting virtually. 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900 here on Reality Check, or on City Council Live, I'm sorry, 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. Give us your thoughts this morning. Give us your thoughts on what transpired in Philadelphia yesterday, that mass shooting. It's no other way to describe it. It's a mass shooting that happened in broad daylight around 3 p.m. or a little bit before 3 p.m. At the Olney. They keep saying it was near the Olney Transit Center. It was at Broad and Olney. Well, Broad and Olney is right across the street from the Olney Transit Center, but just a mass casualty event happening in broad daylight in Philadelphia. Also, there was another horrific report of a woman found in Fairmount Park, body of a woman naked and burned in Fairmount Park as well. So just very grisly, horrific violence, horror movie scale violence coming out of Philadelphia. And once again, we can't say it enough, Philadelphia's leaders, its city leaders, completely stumped on what to do. The Philadelphia Police Commissioner, I saw her on Twitter taking a stroll, a walkthrough of Chinatown. Last I checked, there weren't any murder epidemics or murder waves happening in Chinatown. So if I'm the police commissioner of Philadelphia and my city just got hit with 500 homicides and over 3,300 people shot last year, and then I'm now dealing with over nearly 300 people shot in this year alone, and 72 people killed, and we're not even at 2 full months in 2021, I wouldn't be doing walkthroughs of Chinatown. I'll be walking through and trying to set a presence in the neighborhoods where this violence is happening, and to send a signal, send a message that it's not to be tolerated. And the city of Philadelphia is not doing a good job at all of sending that signal collectively as a Philadelphia community. We're just not doing a very fine job of that. We're not doing a job, period, of that, sending that signal to ourselves, to our community, and to the few people out there who perpetrate this violence, that it is unacceptable, that we can't do it, particularly when we're going through a hard time as pandemic. During something like this event that's happening, we should all be coming together. So we should be figuring out ways in which we can help each other and mobilize and organize. We're not doing that. We're not doing that on the massive scale that is needed and that one would expect. 215-634 866-361-0900. Just had some good memories there at the Albany Transit Center. And so those memories have been just tainted and in so many ways by what happened yesterday afternoon. 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900 as we wait on Philadelphia City Council. As you're waiting for Philadelphia City Council, and you're tuning in, you're watching us, you're viewing, you're listening to us, go to phlcouncil.com. That's phlcouncil.com for more information on your Philadelphia City Council, whether you live in the city of Philadelphia or you just have an interest in the city of Philadelphia. If you are a part of that vast worldwide diaspora of Philadelphians who miss their home and want to occasionally tune into what's happening back home, well, go to phlcouncil.com while you're listening to City Council Live, gavel-to-gavel coverage of the council meeting as a whole. Typically on most Thursdays, there are some breaks in between during certain seasons, but we hold that here live on Thursdays on WURD. It's 96.1 FM, 900 AM, WURDradio.com, WURD TV, and WURD app as well. Definitely we'll be looking forward to seeing what folks' comments are on the Facebook.com live stream. We'll check that out very shortly. 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900, as we're waiting right now for the voice of Philadelphia City Council President Darrell Clark. So probably if you are the City Council President, you are the City Council, even though you're meeting virtually, you're huddling right now, and there's probably lots of conversations about what transpired yesterday afternoon and about what are the next steps. There's also a lot of conversations about the city's budget. We did have those conversations yesterday here on Reality Check. Had Harvey Rice, the executive director of the Pennsylvania Intergovernmental Cooperation Authority, and he gave us an overview, a snapshot of the city's finances. Let me go to Joe out of Germantown while we're holding, who's calling in for a reality check while we wait on City Council. Joe, good morning.
Hey, brother Charles, how you and Troy doing today, my brother? How you doing, brother Charles?
Hanging in there. All right. Thank you, Joe. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Charles, are you up in D.C. today? Or you in Philly?
No, I'm in D.C. actually because I'm keeping an eye on things here. See if we can get that pandemic relief bill passed.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Charles, make sure that President Biden get that bill passed. I got total faith in you, Charles. But Charles, let me say this to you real quick, Charles. You know, I was at Gordon. I went up there when it happened. I got there right after it happened, and because I wanted to pick up something for my mother. And I talked to this white cop. He's like a lieutenant, or he had a white hat, and he told me, he said, "Young man, be careful." And I'm like, I knew somewhere went down. I saw these police cars, things blocked off, channel 3, 6, and 10 up there. So I knew something. He had told me what people, there's 8 people that got shot. And I said, wow, that's a shame. And Charles, like, and that's why I love, Charles, your commitment. You know, and you're not backing off from this. This violence is out of hand, and something got to be done about it. And you're holding these city council and these politicians accountable as well as the community accountable, because this can't keep going on. And I applaud you for that, Charles. But let me say this, brother Charles, and I say this with all due candor. I get sick and tired, brother Charles, of a certain individual calling the station, putting down people that's out here trying to make a difference, calling them death hustlers, saying they just getting money for their own bank accounts. That's not true, Charles. You know, Brother Stanley Crawford calls your show, and for like Stanley Crawford's a loving, committed brother. I'm talking about Bilal Quite, you know, there's so many others. I'll be all day naming names, but I'm saying these people out here, sisters and brothers out there, the sheriff, Rochelle Bilal, they're out there in the community, and we go and see, when you get on that radio and put people down, Charles, I remember Stan, we've been in this neighborhood, Brother Charles, putting our life on the line, knowing that something could kick out. We went directly to the individuals that we know may be involved in this kind of craziness, talking to them. So to sit there and say that somebody ain't doing nothing, we hustlers, man, we out there, man, and when you on the radio running your damn mouth, we out there in the community, man. We're out there with people that can shoot us at any given moment, man. We're not no American way, because we do what we can. We work with the resources that we got, man. We don't have the support that we should have, but we out here trying to make a difference, trying to get these knuckleheads from shooting each other, doing all this crazy stuff. We're not waving a magic wine. If I could wave a magic wine, Charles, it would go away today. Like I'm sure you could. It takes time. But my point, Brother Charles, is that you got people now out here trying to make a difference. They're trying to stop this violence to the community. So to get there and call and put people down, saying that nobody's doing nothing, all we're doing is being death hustlers. And some of these brothers that's out there, like Brother Stanley, he lost a son to violence. So, you know, Brother Stanley got first-hand account of what's going on. And he's a loving, committed brother who's going to see how people stop doing this madness out here. So to sit there and say that stuff, it just make my blood pressure go up when he calls up and put people down. That's not true, man. We out, and like I said, Charles,
got it.
With that pat on the back, I'm just in the reality, Charles. We out there in the toughest neighborhoods. I went out there with Brother Stanley and other committed brothers and sisters in the toughest neighborhoods, trying to having vigils for sisters that got pregnant. Sister got shot last year and was pregnant. We lost her life and her baby. We out there in the community where she got shot at. There were some individuals that may have been involved in that, or may knew, or at least knew what happened to that sister. So we out here dealing with the people that we know. At any given moment could pull out a gun and start shooting. We could get shot, but yet we want to put it on the line for our people, man. That's all I want to say, Brother Charles.
Yeah, I appreciate. I do. In fact, Brother Joe, I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate you calling in and setting the record straight on that. That's definitely what I said earlier. Is not to diminish what you're doing and what many of you are doing out there. I know you all are in those trenches, and you're putting your lives on the line, and you're risking your lives in ways that you know, just frankly, I'm not. Right, I'm not doing that. I do the best that I can. I try to, and I'm saying this humbly. You know, feel free to use me anytime you need to as a vehicle to project the messaging, to project the cause of which you all do, to support in any way that I can. But you all are doing very brave work. So I didn't want to diminish that, and I do apologize if it came off like that. I'm frustrated, like everyone else. And filled up, I'm frustrated. I'm more targeting when I say no one's doing anything. I mean, it's folks who are in positions of leadership and power, who have their hands on resources and assets that could significantly reduce violent crime in the city, perhaps even potentially eliminate this violent crime wave, even in the midst of a pandemic. It's just that they're not putting any heart into it. That's what I'm saying. So I see the heart from you, Brother Joe. I see the heart from others. I'm not seeing that from folks who are in a position and who have the resources and assets to really do something and support what you all are doing, and are not supporting in any real aggressive way what you all are doing in the trenches right there on the front lines, in those theaters of war. Because this is literally a war that you all are seeing unfolding. That's war. These are wartime casualties that we saw in Philly, for example, last year with the homicide rates and the number of people shot. That's like more. That's way more. You know, the U.S. troops that were killed in Afghanistan during a period of years. So or were injured in a period of years. So. No, but I appreciate you. I do appreciate you calling in, and you know, I'm humbled by that, by what you're. You know, I want to apologize if I did come off like that, like I was diminishing what you. I'm not. I wasn't even thinking about you all. I'm just frustrated about City Hall. City Hall should be putting itself in a much better position, as should others, to really help with this. With this craziness, and to, you know, it's, you know, where's the joint task force, where's the state of emergency, where's the mobilization of resources to really stop this kind of madness that's afflicting the city right now. But I appreciate you, Joe. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for sharing that passion. I didn't mean to get under your under your skin or make your blood boil, make your blood pressure any high. Brother Joe, but I appreciate the fact that you called in just now, because a lot of people needed to hear that. They need to hear that passion. That's what we need. We need that kind of passion throughout, like, everywhere in Philadelphia to put a stop to this. Let me go to Jacob out of Olney, who's calling in for a reality check. Jacob.
Hey, peace be unto you, Brother Ellison.
Peace. How are you doing? All right.
Man, look, I'm stressed, but I know I'm blessed. Now, you talk about Broad Knowledge, right? Yeah. It ain't nothing wrong with Broad Knowledge. It's the people at Broad Knowledge. And let me say,
yeah,
where I'm sitting right now, I could have heard the shots when it happened yesterday. That's how close I am to Broad Knowledge. But, you know, there was a president down there where you are now in Washington that said one time, we have nothing to fear but fear itself, okay? One thing we can't do is run around in fear. We got, if you out on the street doing what you're supposed to do, right? And you know, it was so good that last night PBS ran that last part of the special, Black History Month on the Black church, right? Now, I heard somewhere where, see, we doing the thing, the major part of what we don't see happening, and sure, we need task force, we need good policing, we need the citizens, you know, but what we leaving out sometime is, it said, I heard something in Scripture that said that we would, if we pray, right, that you would hear from heaven and he will heal the land, right? So now that's good stuff there, because if you doing all that you can do on these other fronts, let us go to what the Scriptures say, and that's to pray to this Creator for help, right? And he said that that's the promise. God, when God promises, God delivers, and it's on his time. But the bottom line is, we just got to keep doing everything that we have to do. And one of the things is pray. At this point, we got to pray. And like I said again, if I dig out today and shovel out, I'm going to go right to Broad and Olney, because that's where I do my business, right? I got the bank to deal with is right there at Broad and Olney. Now, I'm not going to let anything keep me in some kind of a shell, because the same Scripture says that mustard seed, I know we got mustard seed faith, right, my brother? And if we ain't got mustard seed faith, we better find it, because we need it today. And I'm saying, if we say that we are people of faith, and we are, that black thing on the church showed from the times we were in chains. We held on to something that we couldn't understand, we couldn't see, but that was that faith in a higher power. And so, I mean, we got to be cautious, but let us not go out of our minds scared and crazy.
We need that investment in faith. We need that investment in spirit. I would like the passion we heard from Joe just now, I would like that multiplied by 1.6 million. That's the number of residents in the city of Philadelphia. So everyone should have, at this stage, well, this should have happened a long time ago. Everyone in the city of Philadelphia should be projecting that same passion as Joe just projected. And the folks, so we're all on the same page about that. I've always said this is an all hands on deck response exercise that has got to happen. Yes, I'm very focused on, and I'm going to continue to criticize the lack of leadership from City Hall, but it's you know, everyone's going to have to be involved to support those efforts to eliminate, to reduce the violence, and support those efforts of folks like Joe out of Germantown, who just called in, right? And others who are out there in the trenches. We need that, and we need that faith, that energy that you just talked about, Jacob, that investment in faith, and that investment in that spiritual element. That's just so essential. You know, that's what sets the tone. That's what sets the urgency. We're not seeing that on a mass scale just yet in Philly. I'm not seeing that on a mass scale. Yeah, we have individuals and we have different organizations who are doing work, and they're trying their best, but they cannot do it alone. This is a collective exercise, y'all. You know, you can't rely on, you can't even really rely on the police commissioner or the mayor or anyone, even though they need to be stepping up. But we can't expect one another to be doing it alone. I'm sorry, Jacob. Go ahead and wrap up. Oh, okay. Jacob, be safe over there, though, please, over at Olney. Let me go to Ms. Sandra out of Oak Lane, who's calling in for a reality check.
Hi, Charles. How are you?
How you doing? All right.
Okay, so Broad and Olney is in the 9th Councilmanic District and also the 35th District. And there are at least 5 police officers assigned to, not SEPTA, Philadelphia police officers assigned to Broad and Olney. Captain Michael Zimmerman, who is the commander of the 35th, he's very proactive. He puts officers there. Now, every month, the 35th has a police service area meeting. It's been Zoom because of the COVID. I would like to give the information out so anyone that is in the 35th district or who lives in that vicinity wants to participate in the upcoming Zoom, they can email Crime Prevention Officer Robert Hoppy and be placed on the Zoom list, and they can come in.
And that's Philadelphia 35th district?
Yes, it's the 35th. So it's Robert.Hoppe, Hoppe, at phila.gov. You email him, ask to be put on the Zoom list. He will email you the information so you can come in and chat. I believe our next meeting is the 24th or 25th of this month with Lieutenant Ransom. So what I want to say is we do have a pretty proactive police captain here who was raised in the area. Okay. But the problem is, if you have police officers and SEPTA officers up there at Broad and Olney, and people are so bold to drive by and start shooting, that what is that saying? Right. Basically, that is always people standing because you have so many buses. You have Girls High, you have Central, you have LaSalle. That's a very busy four corner right there. Okay? Yeah. If people are going to be that bold to drive up and start shooting indiscriminately or at targets, knowing that you have clusters of people waiting for the 22, you know, the 55, the L bus, every bus you can think of up there. That's a very large bus depot up there.
It's it's massive.
Right. So I mean, the police are trying to do whatever they can do, but they need help. Sherelle Parker needs to partnership more with this area. She's very selective. She seems to stay in Mount Airy. She doesn't come up in here. You know, I mean,
that's her district. I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
that is her district.
She's part of the 9th district. Now she may share it with Cindy Bass or whatever, but she's part of it. And I'm saying the captain is doing what he's doing. It's the same people showing up at these Zoom meetings, or when we had them in person, the same people showing up with the same complaints over the years. Nothing, you know, the community complains when things happen. They'll come out because of emotions and chaos, and then they lay back and they don't continue to push on.
There's no follow-up.
So the police need help. There's no follow-up. We have an FBI agent assigned to this area. You know, state troopers are in and out of this area. The 35th is a very large police district. And they know where the pockets of problems are. Yeah. But again, the community will not get involved because of, you know, they fear for their safety and their family's safety. So this is a very complex issue, but we can't say that Captain Michael Zimmerman is not doing his job. He needs help from the community. We have to start partnershiping. Yeah. You know, and that's all I wanted to say. I
appreciate that.
Officer Hoppy's. Yeah, because, see, I don't want people to put out misinformation, you know, like, well, where were the cops and stuff. He makes it a point. He knows that that's a hot spot. He sends those police officers up there. I remember, you know, even when
it's been like that for a long time, too. Just as long as I can remember, every time. I mean, I haven't been to that transit center in years, but I used to go there every day, and it was always some type of police presence, whether it was SEPTA police or it was Philadelphia police.
Exactly. And
that's as long as I can remember. That's just always the case.
Killed up there on that corner. There's been other shootings. I would say in the last 15 maybe more, maybe 15, 17 years. That's a very hot spot. That is worse than Broad and Girard and Broad and Erie.
Yeah. All right. 35th. Thanks so much, Ms. Sandra. Appreciate you. PhillyPolice.com, and you can go directly to the site for the sub-site for the 35th district. 215-686-3350 is Philadelphia Police 35th District headquarters at North Broad and Champlos. 215-686-3350. And another email address you can also reach out to is police.co_35@phila.gov. police.co_35@phila.gov, or call 215-686-3350, especially if you are in the 35th district and you've been, well, one, if you know something about what happened, what transpired yesterday, or if you've been affected by the same violence as well. Okay, Philadelphia City Council is now live. Let's go to it.
Thank you. And good morning. I understand that state law currently requires that the following announcement be made at the beginning of every remote council session. Due to the current public health emergency, City Council is currently meeting remotely. We are using Microsoft Teams to make this remote meeting possible. Instructions for how the public may view the meeting and offer public comment are included in the stated meeting notice that was publicized in the Daily News, Enquirer, and Legal Intelligencer prior to the meeting. It can also be found on phlcouncil.com. I now note that the hour has come. The clerk will please call the roll to take attendance. Members that are in attendance will please indicate that you're present when your name is called. Mr. Decker, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Bass.
Good morning. I am present. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Councilwoman Brooks.
Good morning. I'm present.
Good morning.
Councilman Dom.
Morning, Council President and colleagues and the snowy listening audience.
Good morning.
Councilwoman Gauthier.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to the public. Present.
Good morning.
Councilwoman Gilmore Richardson.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues, and good morning, Philadelphia.
Good morning.
Councilman Green.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues. Praying for a safe, peaceful city of Philadelphia.
Good morning.
Councilwoman Gim.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues. I'm present.
Good morning.
Councilman Heenan. Councilman Johnson.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues. Still seeking justice for Darius Wright, 15-year-old, who lost his life to gun violence in Grace Ferry.
Good morning.
Councilman Jones.
Good morning, Mr.